We arrived in New York, went to New York, you know, and our first gig was in New York. In fact, our first several gigs were in New York. And the PAs and the equipment that we bought were totally unsuitable for America.
We didn't know that you had to change, that there's different electricity over here. And we'd all brought our gear with our suitcases and stuff.
I can't believe it now that we actually took the column speakers in a plastic, like a plastic cover on them, travelling on the plane. So when they come off the chute, of course, you know, I mean, there's no protection whatsoever, you know.
So the naivety started all over again. We were these huge, for a second, we were these huge giants back in England, you know, walking amidst the clouds or what have you. And in America, we were back in a club.
First gig was bloody awful. We played at this place called Ungano's Club in New York.
It was like the worst dump I've ever seen.
The roadie we had at that time, he plugged the gear and it all blew up because we didn't realise it was a different mains.
We had to borrow some amps and stuff for that night. And we went on and we did the set and everybody was just completely no response. Then we found out later that we were auditioning for all the promoters and agents and everybody in America. And we were wondering why the audience looked so weird to us, you know, suits and short hair and everything. And nobody told us that we had to audition first. So, and from that, then we played a couple of university shows.
We'd never been to college basketball stadium before, you know.
Love grows where my rose really go down.
I used to play rhythm guitar before that, so I didn't even know what a bass player was supposed to do.
So you used to go to play?
I used to go to all the blues clubs and I used to go to the soul clubs. I think that's the first time we ever seen each other because they used to have all-nighters in town, up in Birmingham.
Take speed and stay up all night and go home and pretend you're tired and lie awake in bed looking at the ceiling all day.
And they didn't finish till like 8 o'clock in the morning. And then there just happened to be, they used to be on a Saturday night, and this one Sunday morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, I was walking down one side of the road going home, and he was on the other side, and I had my hair down there, and he had his skinhead thing, looking over with daggers, before we'd even met. It's funny.
We rehearsed in his castle once in Wales. We really, I've got to be honest, we frightened the life out of each other. We had to leave in the end. Everybody terrified each other because we were playing jokes on each other. Nobody knew who was doing it, you know, and it just got ridiculous. So we used to leave and drive all the way home and drive back the next day. It's really silly.
So we go out and play, and there's all these people with bow ties and evening suits and dresses, and we went on you know, and we died. They were looked at us with amazement and shock. And we lasted about 2 songs and we had to come off. It was dreadful.
We were probably one of the first bands to go in to a studio and actually turn the amps up to number 10. We used to have it in cereal boxes with cocaine delivered to the house. We just tip it into this big bowl and sort of a bit like Scarface kind of.
Well, what do you do to relax?
Smoke marijuana.
You were joking when you said that, of course.
Yeah, right.
We've got to see LSD, Light and Sound Design, it's the name of the production company. And the guy says, anyone got any ideas about a stage set? What would you like to, any inspiration? Well, something earthy maybe, I don't know. And Geezer said, Stonehenge. And the bloke said, well, it's a brilliant idea. How do you visualise it? He said, life size, of course.
Stonehenge came down. It's 3 times bigger than the original Stonehenge. We had to hire the NEC for rehearsals. It's the only place where it would fit, and that is without the stage. Everybody's going, "No, it'll be all right in America. The places are bigger over there. We'll still take it with us." So we took it there. And the first gig was this place in Canada. We couldn't even get it in the doors in this place, and one put it on the stage.
In the end, the set proved too unwieldy, but getting rid of it mid-tour posed some problems for the band.
We offered it to some Stonehenge thing in America, and it was too big for them. They were going, well, we've like the exact replica of Stonehenge, not something that's three times the size.
They're still in the shipping container. They're all slotted in like this, one after the other, you know. And in fact, they're on a dockside somewhere in the world still today. I mean, I imagine an archaeologist from the future is going to suddenly discover this and assemble it all and go, ah, that's how they did it.
Well, there's a big one in Sweden when, when Ozzy got off stage. I mean, the gig was crap. I mean, it was all right. It was just a gig in Sweden. And there was this kid who had to be about 10 years old in front. And this bloke came up and started beating the hell out of this little kid. So Ozzy jumped off stage. And he absolutely murdered this bloke. And the next day, we were leaving the hotel, and this guy comes up with his arm in a sling, broken arm, a broken leg. And he comes and he says, "Excuse me, I was the one that Ozzy beat up last night, but I was on LSD. I'm really sorry for what happened." And we, oh no, he was on acid, and Ozzy did that to him. And like, he came up for our autographs the next day. And
it's on my arm.
I go in the next day and go, what the hell's happened to the guitar and bass? And the engineer go, well, Ronnie changed it all. He brought all the vocals up more. And
the engineer was drinking more. It just seemed deteriorate over the period of this album, you know, because he was trying to keep everything bottled, trying to keep the peace, really.
So something was up, whether the engineer was a nutter and doing it himself or what, because Ronnie denied it.
I couldn't understand why they would listen to an idiot who was drinking a bottle of Jack Daniels every day.
This is a good old cocaine shot with all fucked up on it. If you look at the face, when you do cocaine, you just lose all expression in your face. Yeah.
We inherited this van, and I think it was Tony and Bill's van they paid for it, and it didn't have a floor in it. But in the passenger side, it just had like this seat suspended over this gaping hole, and and an old settee in the back of the van, and so we used to just like throw all the equipment in and sit on this settee, and one of us would like be perched on the seat above this old rusted old hole.
I can always remember going to one nightclub and Tony would walk in, you know, and they'd say, "My God, look at the state of him." And Geezer would walk in, okay, and say, "God," you know. Then Ozzy would walk in, you know, and that's it. You're not coming in the club. Then I would walk in, and that would be the end of it.
And Ozzy didn't turn up for 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, he just like rolls through the door, smashed out of his head. He'd beaten somebody up on the plane coming over from England, and the customs had arrested him for beating this person up. And by the time he got to the house, he was just like obliterated.
A lot of pioneering went on in the early days.
Wagon train.
Yeah.
We used to have wagons. When we first toured, we had wagon trains to go around.
Yeah, we used to use.
You sound like we're from the old world. We're only fucking 30 years on the road. We don't have Gene Autry fucking as a tour manager.
Actually, I'm trying to use pioneering in the modern sense rather than the
sounds
archaic
fucking
sense.
like the History Channel. The Wild West.
Bill used to dress up as Wyatt Earp.
Will you scratch the word pioneering and
Phil used to like to sniff Trigger's ass.
Forget that I said pioneering, okay, and to amend this, I'll go and throw myself underneath a truck and you can film it or something. I hate you.
You know the funny thing about it all is, after all this fucking time and whatever anybody said about us all, we still can have a fucking damn good laugh together. And that means more to me than any fucking gold, this fucking $1 million. I don't know, $1 million, but it means more to me than any. We can all sit down and have a good fucking laugh at ourselves, and it's great. And I feel great today. I'm honoured to be back with these guys.